Hello, my name is Adrian Stevens. In this short video I'm going to show some uses of label tracks in Audacity. So we've got Audacity running and I'm going to record a short track. 1, 2, 4, Google Google, 5, Sproggle Sproggle, 6. Okay, let's listen to that. 1, 2, 4, Google Google, 5, Sproggle Sproggle, 6. So this is a perfect piece of LibriVox text. We give this to our proof listener and they note that there are certain issues with this, which we're going to fix up, and we're going to use label tracks to help us do it. So we can add label tracks in various ways. Tracks, add new, label track, and that creates a label track here. I can manually add a label just by clicking the cursor here, hitting Control B, and then type something in. This is a label. There you are. And let's add another one over here, another, there you are. Now the label track can be synchronized to the audio track or not, depending on the setting of this setting here. So if you're going to work on labels and you want the labels to remain fixed to the audio, you want to turn sync lock on. Then when I select something, say I'm selecting this, you'll notice there's a little clocks symbol shows. That shows that this part is also selected. And if I hit delete, you'll notice that the another label here is going to move to the left along with the video track. There it is. I'll hit Control Z to undo that and they'll move again together. So the labels and the audio are tied together as long as that setting is on. If I want to delete the label, I can do Edit Labels, Edit Labels. This creates a list of the labels and with their location, and I can delete this. I can also export these to a file and import them from a file. So let me delete both of these. And now my labels have gone away. Another way to add a label track is to do, if I select Audio, Analyze, Silence Finder, audio below 30 dBs, while my noise floor is about minus 50 dBs, and a minimum duration of 1 second. So I hit the OK, and you'll see that I've got a label, apart from the first one, which wasn't a second in, I've got a label associated with the start of each group, except this one here. This was a bit too quick perhaps, I don't know. This is helpful if I want to skip from one to another, so I'm holding Control, I'm holding Alt and doing right cursor, and the cursor's moving to the right, and left cursor, it's moving to the left. So that's a quick way of moving between the labels. If I play this, 1, 4, Google, 5, 6, 5, Google, 4, 2. So I moved while playback was in operation between those locations. This is a quick way of skipping silence. If, for instance, you've got a dramatic reading and you're proof listening it, you can find the start of each phrase and skip the 2 or 3 seconds of silence that they should be including. Now say, let me get rid of that track, it's not very interesting. Now say we've got our proof listener has listened to this. 2, 4. They notice that we've missed the word 3. So they say at 3 and a bit seconds we're missing the word 3. So let's add Control B, missing 3. And carry on listening. 4,
Google, Google.
No,
5.
they comment that the text doesn't include Google, Google. So they might mark up this location and say superfluous. Now note what I did there was I selected a range and hit Control B, and what that does is it selects a range associated with the label. If I click on this again, it will select that same range, and I can adjust the position and size of the range using the arrows and the dots here.
5. Sproggle, sproggle. 6.
So again, sproggle, sproggle. I'm going to hit Control B. Superfluous. So I can click between these two ranges.
1. 2.
2. We're missing 3.
4. Google, Google. 5. Sproggle, sproggle. 6.
Okay. Now, imagine that they'd also said that I should have said the
6.
The 6. So I'm going to put missing the. Control B. That's for so that I can demonstrate another feature. So as we make edits, the label track and the audio move together. Now, when you're given a normal set of proof list comments, they start at the start of the recording, they go towards the end, but you actually edit them from the end, going backwards into the start, so that later changes do not affect the locations of earlier changes. When you use a track like this, a markup, once you've inserted the labels, it doesn't matter which order you do the corrections in. So for instance, I'm going to delete the 2 superfluous ones, and notice that the and the 6 move together. So, oops, I'm going to select that. Hit, was it Control X? Yeah, Control X. And I'm going to remove this superfluous. Control X. I'll insert the missing the. Notice as I move the cursor towards the mark, it snaps to the. So I'm going to mute this track, move the cursor there and record 3. I'm going to mute this track and record 3. 3. Unmute this track and select it, and again the cursor snaps in there. So I'm going to select that, go back to this track, snap to that label, Control V, and that's inserted it at that location. I'm going to go and notice again how this label moves with this word. I'm going to snap to over here. I'm going to mute this track and record the word the. The. Okay, let's Control C that. Click in there, that again snaps to the marker. Goes in there, delete this track. So now we've made all of the changes we needed to make. So let's hear the resulting masterpiece.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Worthy of an Oscar, I'm sure you'll think. I hope you found this useful. Goodbye.